Something to share with this group you did not tell us about?
Yes.
We heard.
Wasn't there?
But we heard.
We heard from someone else. But what was the big announcement that you had?
In a discovery that was so shocking that even seasoned agents were left speechless, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has just uncovered a shocking secret that was hidden within Goldberg's extravagant estate. How come they went on a raid on the property of the legendary actress? Who or what was hiding behind those doors that were closed? First and foremost, why has the general public never been made aware of the truth? We have been led to believe that we knew everything there is to know about Goldberg, but the evidence that they have just discovered completely contradicts our assumptions. It was so quiet in the neighborhood that surrounded Goldberg's extravagant estate that you could hear the leaves gently brushing against the pavement. The neighborhood was illuminated by the dim glow of early morning streetlights. Nevertheless, that tranquility was shattered this morning by the roaring of engines, the hurried footsteps of people, and a tension that was so thick that it could be cut with a knife. The sun had not yet risen, and the majority of the neighbors were still asleep, with the exception of a few elderly people who were walking around early in the morning. It was just about 5 o'clock. But even they quickly realized that something was very. If you are interested in learning more about the life of Whoopi Goldberg, a legendary figure in the world of Hollywood, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and share this video so that more people can learn about it. So, let's get started with this fascinating tale, shall we? The sudden appearance of a convoy of unmarked black SUVs that were moving slowly, but with undeniable force, appeared out of nowhere. The faces of the men who emerged from the building were obscured by the darkness of their sunglasses, bulletproof vests, and black suits. Within a short period of time, they encircled the magnificent estate of Goldberg, blocking every entrance and making it impossible for anyone to enter or exit the property. Then, kabang! Splash! Splash! In the wee hours of the morning, the knocking reverberated like thunder, bearing no resemblance to gentleness or hesitation. A raid was being conducted here. This was not a routine visit. There was a commotion going on inside the estate. Upon ascending the stairs, a light began to flicker, indicating that the proprietor was awake. Whoopi Goldberg, the person that the United States of America was so familiar with, was standing there when the enormous wooden door slowly creaked open. She was familiar with the highs and lows of Hollywood, but she had never experienced anything quite like this. Whoopi kept her usual level of composure despite the fact that she had only recently woken up. The robe she was wearing was a light gray color, and her hair fell around her shoulders in a natural way. Not out of fear, but rather with a sense of surprise and a trace of bewilderment, her eyes scanned the agents who were standing at the door. "How are things going?" It was a calm but sharp tone to her voice. One of the agents took a step forward, displayed an FBI badge, and began to retrieve a file from a briefcase that was black in color. "There is a warrant for our search. A federal investigation is currently underway." That remark landed like a bomb in the beginning of the morning fog. Immediately after the door was opened, agents moved quickly and took control of the estate at that moment. Inquisitive neighbors had already begun to congregate, and they were now whispering to one another in small groups. "What is going on, Goldberg?" A woman in her middle years mumbled something while shaking her head in astonishment. "A huge celebrity she is. What gives her the right to be involved with the FBI?" A different voice hushed the room. Despite this, the rumors only served to heighten the tension. Several reporters had already learnt about the raid, and they hurried to the location with their cameras raised, eager to record every single moment of the episode. In order to maintain order among the ever-increasing crowd, the local police force mobilized and set up barricades to keep onlookers at a safe distance. The flashing camera lights that were reflected off of the windows of the FBI vehicles created a spectacle that was both chaotic and dramatic. While this was going on, a comprehensive search was being conducted inside the extravagant estate. The agents divided themselves into teams, each of which had a distinct mission. They went through each and every room, opened each and every drawer, and moved each and every book on the shelves, making sure that no detail was overlooked. Whoopi continued to remain silent as she stood in the middle of the living room with her arms crossed and her gaze fixed on the agents who were searching her home. She was aware of one thing. The Federal Bureau of Investigation did not show up without a plan. But the question that arises is, why? How could they have possibly had reason to suspect her? While making eye contact with her, a representative approached her. "Do you want us to have your attorney call you?" It was a firm question. Whoopi inhaled deeply and followed it up with a nod. In my opinion, that would be the wise course of action to take. One thing was certain, however, and that was the fact that the FBI had a very good reason for conducting this raid. No one knew exactly what the FBI was looking for. One drawer in Whoopi's private library was opened with great care by a small group of agents who were wearing white gloves. Important documents, such as script contracts and personal letters she had written over the course of several decades, were stored in this location. One of the agents quickly retrieved a stack of papers and proceeded to carefully and methodically turn through each page. Another team was searching the basement, which was a location that was rarely visited, on the opposite side of the house. Several dust-covered boxes were opened, and each item was examined in great detail. Then, all of a sudden, a representative yelled out, "I believe we have discovered something." Immediate action was taken by the entire FBI team that was present at the estate. A locked metal box that had been left untouched for years and had been pulled out of a hidden corner showed no signs of having been tampered with. Nearby, Whoopi stood with her eyes narrowed. She spoke her words slowly and said, "I've never seen that box before." Just before hurriedly carrying the box outside, the agents exchanged glances with one another. However, they did not immediately open it. Instead, they took great care to seal it and then promptly delivered it to a specialist for examination. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, finally left the estate after searching it for several hours. There were no statements made to the press, and there were no official announcements made. The only things that remained were questions that were not answered, and a famous actress who was walking around her house, filled with uncertainty. Despite the fact that the crowd outside started to disperse, the stories continued to spread. Why is the FBI conducting a search warrant at Whoopi Goldberg's residence? The headlines have exploded across the media. Within Whoopi's estate, there are mysteries. Can you tell me what the FBI discovered? Everyone in the United States was waiting for answers, but the truth was only known to those who were involved in the investigation, and that truth had the potential to alter everything. When it comes to controversy, Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger. Her career has been filled with countless highs and lows, from triumphant moments on the big screen to intense backlash over her personal views. Given her status as one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, she has experienced a wide range of emotions. On the other hand, everything is different this time. It is not just a debate on television or an article in a critical magazine. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is not getting involved because of statements that are controversial. Rather, they are conducting a serious investigation. A decision was not made on the spur of the moment to conduct a search warrant at Whoopi Goldberg's estate. Those who are familiar with law enforcement are aware that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, will never conduct a search unless they have evidence that is substantial. A significant question arises as a result of this. For how long have they been watching Whoopi? The FBI had been keeping a close eye on the actress for a number of months, according to multiple sources within the agency. Nobody is entirely sure what it was that they were looking for, but one thing is certain: this is not a minor matter. Federal agencies do not waste their time on cases that are not of significant importance. Their decision to issue a search warrant indicates that they have a strong belief that something very serious is taking place. The most important question, however, is why Whoopi Goldberg was singled out for targeting. It is possible that this is a financial investigation, according to the speculation of some legal experts. During the past few years, a number of famous people have been subjected to legal action for tax-related issues or questionable business dealings. In the event that this was merely a tax matter, then why did the FBI appear to be so tense? Why should a task force that is armed be sent to the residence of an elderly actress? Could there have been something much more serious going on here? Whoopi Goldberg has been subjected to intense public scrutiny on multiple occasions throughout the course of her career, which spans several decades. In spite of the fact that it may get her into trouble, she has never been afraid to say what's on her mind. As a result of her outspoken comments on The View, where she has been a co-host for many years, she has received criticism over the course of her career. Her reputation as one of the most divisive figures in the entertainment industry was solidified by the fact that she engaged in contentious debates with guests and made controversial comments about politics and society. However, despite the fact that she had been involved in controversy in the past, Whoopi had never been in a situation where her career was in danger. There was a surge of speculation on social media as soon as the news of the raid became public. There was an overwhelming amount of content posted about Whoopi Goldberg on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok forums. While some people thought it was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding, others began to speculate about what the FBI might be looking into and began to spin wild conspiracy theories. There was no lag time in the media. The headlines of every news outlet were filled with sensational stories. What a shock for Hollywood. The FBI conducts raids, where Whoopi Goldberg calls home. How are things going? An investigation is being conducted into an American icon. Does this mean that her career is coming to an end? The incident even became a topic of discussion on talk shows that air late at night. Using their signature sarcastic remarks, Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert brought it up in their conversation. However, there is an undeniable truth that lies behind the jokes. Whoopi Goldberg was confronted with a storm that had never been seen before. No official statement, no indictments, no announcements of charges, and no explanation for the mysterious box that they had taken were provided by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, when they left Whoopi Goldberg's estate. On the other hand, their silence served to make the story even more dramatic. Fans of Whoopi were concerned that this might be the final chapter in her illustrious career. The continuation of the investigation could put at risk a number of things, including endorsement deals, movie offers, and even her current role on The View. While this was going on, her detractors rejoiced. One or more of her most vocal critics started publishing mocking articles, claiming that it was a form of retribution for her previous controversial statements. Whoopi Goldberg, on the other hand, is not the type of person who is effortlessly defeated. There were only a few days that passed before she finally broke her silence. Over the course of a special episode of The View, she presented herself to the audience in a composed manner. However, unmistakable rage could be seen in her eyes. "Your point is well understood by me. I am aware of everything. However, I would like to make it clear. No, I have nothing to conceal." Despite the fact that she didn't say much about the investigation, her message was understood without a doubt. She was not going to allow this incident to ruin her professional life or her reputation. Nevertheless, were her words sufficient to put an end to the rumors? There is still a lot of mystery surrounding the investigation, because the FBI has not yet disclosed any details about it. At this point, the question that needs to be asked is, what exactly is going on? Will Whoopi Goldberg be able to weather the storm? This is the most important question. As agents from the FBI entered Whoopi Goldberg's extravagant estate, there was a profound hush that descended upon the place. Their flashlights cast a dim beam that illuminated every nook and cranny, every bookshelf, and every painting that was hung in an impeccable manner. However, the thing that they were looking for was not readily apparent to them. It was concealed to a great extent within the mysteries of this house. One of the agents noticed something peculiar about the wall that was located behind the office as the search continued. Along the baseboard, there was a groove that was almost undetectable. At first, it appeared to be nothing more than a simple ornamental detail. On the other hand, a sharp click reverberated throughout the room when it was accidentally touched by a representative. With their gazes fixed on the wall, the entire task force came to a complete halt. One of the agents, who had prior experience in unearthing concealed rooms, squatted down and ran his fingers along the groove once more. There was a slight click that reverberated through the air, but this time there was something different. One of the sections of the wall started to move, and it revealed a small door that was not included on the blueprints for the estate. Quick glances were exchanged between the agents. What lay beyond was unknown to anyone. As they braced themselves for whatever was waiting on the other side, they reached for their weapons in a moment of heightened concentration. When the door opened with a creak, it revealed a narrow corridor that led down to a basement that was completely dark, as if it had been there for years without being touched. The air was thick with the smell of dampness and decay. After that, they entered the hidden room, which was unlike any other location elsewhere on the estate. There was nothing in the room other than a few dusty wooden shelves and an old table in the middle of the space. But the metal boxes that were stacked in a neat manner in the corner were the ones that really caught the agent's attention. Despite appearing to have been untouched for years, each one was securely sealed. Within the first box, the agent opened it. A collection of old documents, many of which were marked as classified, could be found inside. There were some pages that had yellowed with the passage of time, but the contents of those pages were still intact. While flipping through the files, another agent immediately recognized names that were familiar to all of them. These are some of the most influential people in the entertainment and political industries. However, the documents were not the most shocking discovery that was made. What was at the bottom of the box was the item in question. A letter written by hand on thick parchment that was sealed with a wax stamp in a red color. The letter had been in circulation for decades, and possibly even longer than that, but the sender was the one who really took the FBI by surprise. It was a distinctive symbol, one that was connected to a significant case that the FBI had never been able to solve. The seal bore this symbol, After carefully picking up the letter, the lead agent examined each and every stroke of the handwriting written on it. However, a portion of the letter provided a significant hint, despite the fact that the sender did not sign their full name. In the event that this letter was discovered, it would indicate that the truth was never intended to be revealed. It appeared as though the words, which were cryptic and mysterious, were written for someone in the future, or perhaps they were intended to scare someone. Nevertheless, the question that needs to be answered is, given the wax seal and the contents of the letter, how did this letter make its way into the extravagant mansion owned by Goldberg? The Federal Bureau of Investigation has a strong suspicion that this case is connected to a mysterious case that occurred many years ago but has never been made public. That this case is connected to one of the most significant scandals in the history of Hollywood has been revealed by some inside sources. This scandal involves a disappearance that has not been solved and a secret that has been kept hidden by those in power. But the question that is of the utmost importance is whether or not Whoopi Goldberg was aware of the existence of this room. Did she have any knowledge of these classified documents? Or was it something that she had acquired without her knowledge and without her intention? When it came to these documents, the FBI was aware that they could not jump to any conclusions. Either they are essential pieces of evidence for a case that has been forgotten for a very long time, or they could be the key to uncovering a truth that many people wish to keep hidden. On the other hand, there is one thing that is certain. The inquiry is not even close to being finished. The information about the hidden room was immediately disseminated. As soon as the news broke, the media began to compete with one another to report on the new discovery. The Federal Bureau of Investigation had discovered a secret basement in Goldberg's extravagant mansion. What was she concealing herself? Theories began to circulate, ranging from stories that were plausible to conspiracy theories that were unbelievable. There are those who are of the opinion that the glamorous Goldberg might be concealing vital information regarding a concealed Hollywood secret. There are even those who believe that the entire situation could be the result of a larger conspiracy. Whoopi Goldberg is no longer merely a well-known actress, regardless of the circumstances surrounding her career. She has emerged as the focal point of one of the most significant mysteries that the FBI has ever encountered. Additionally, the most important question has not yet been answered. What exactly did that letter say? And what are the consequences of reading it? Within a matter of hours, the fact that the FBI had conducted a raid on Whoopi Goldberg's mansion spread like wildfire. There was an abundance of sensational headlines across major newspapers, television stations, and social media platforms. The people immediately began analyzing each and every detail that was disclosed. The FBI was beginning to piece together clues from the documents that were discovered in the secret room at that very moment, and it appeared as though everything was pointing to an astounding hypothesis. However, no one could have imagined that this was happening at that very moment. Could Goldberg have a connection to a shocking event that occurred in the history of Hollywood? When the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, examined the documents that were sealed in the secret room, they saw that the majority of them were not simply personal papers. These documents included letters that Goldberg had written to high-ranking figures in the entertainment industry. Some of the documents contained these letters. Specifically, those who are behind the most powerful corporations in Hollywood, directors, producers, and even those themselves. An agent's attention was drawn to a name that appeared in a string of letters that were sent back and forth between the two parties. Mr. Howard L. It was Emerson. The general public might not be familiar with this name, but within the realm of investigations, it is an essential piece of information. From the 1970s until the 1990s, Emerson was a film producer who had a significant impact on the industry. Following that, however, he abruptly left the industry and disappeared without a trace from the Hollywood area. 1994 was the year that he made his final public appearance, and it was right before a financial scandal that involved one of the most prominent film studios at the time broke out. Due to the fact that it was widely believed that he had left the United States and severed all ties with Hollywood, it is difficult to understand why Whoopi Goldberg would communicate with someone of his nature. Whoopi Goldberg's handwritten letter, which was sent in 1993 and signed by her, was one of the documents that particularly caught the attention of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The passage, "I am aware of what took place that evening," was written in the letter. "We are all in danger if the truth is revealed to the public." What night was she referring to, and what transpired that caused someone like Whoopi to be so concerned that they felt the need to write these words? It appeared that the purpose of another letter, which was sent a few months later, was to reassure someone that they would not discover anything suspicious. Do you just keep quiet? There is a possibility that these letters are evidence of a larger conspiracy. On the other hand, the FBI has not yet established their actual context. Nevertheless, as they proceeded with their investigation of additional documents, they came across a piece of evidence that shed light on everything. A VHS tape that is quite old and bears the label "Do Not Watch Private." Immediately, the agents took the tape to the laboratory in order to retrieve its contents. However, a simple examination of the tape's worn surface was sufficient to determine that if there was anything significant contained within it, it had most likely been concealed for a considerable amount of time. Through the course of their investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has come to the realization that Whoopi Goldberg had close ties to a select group of influential figures in the film industry during the late 1980s and early 1990s. At the same time, there were names that were rumored to be connected to a major scandal, a case that had been covered up or forgotten by the media over the course of time. In 1991, a young actor abruptly vanished from the Hollywood scene after falsely accusing a powerful figure of engaging in inappropriate behavior. The case, on the other hand, was quickly resolved, silenced, and the identity of the person who made the accusation was never disclosed. Whoopi Goldberg is at the center of a shocking FBI investigation after hidden documents were discovered in her mansion, sparking intense public speculation. While some believe the investigation is a misunderstanding, others question whether she is hiding something significant. In an exclusive interview, Whoopi dismissed the claims, stating the documents were part of a personal Hollywood memorabilia collection, including old letters and movie scripts. However, the presence of a mysterious VHS tape has fueled further speculation. Hollywood has responded swiftly, with film projects paused, sponsorships withdrawn, and some former colleagues distancing themselves. The FBI has remained silent, deepening the intrigue and leading to theories of a larger conspiracy. With her career and reputation on the line, the key question remains: can Whoopi Goldberg weather this storm, or will this controversy define her legacy? Only time will tell. Something that was not expected has been found by the FBI. But there is still the most important question. When it comes to Whoopi Goldberg, what does this imply? In spite of the fact that the public has only seen the first page of the new chapter, it has been opened. It is possible that the secrets that are yet to come will be even more shocking than the truth that is still being revealed. It would be greatly appreciated if you would like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with others if you find the story of Whoopi Goldberg to be intriguing and unexpected. Therefore, in order to ensure that you do not miss the next exciting video, you should make sure to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. I appreciate you watching, and I'll chat with you in the next one.